Hi, everyone, and welcome back for another episode. We're going to be diving into the major delays they have caused from Sony. We're also getting into some Invincible news, and we're going to be reviewing the last episode of Secret Invasion. And to top it all off, I've got two special guests from one of the premier Marvel podcasts. I've got Louis, Devin from the Earth 894 podcast. How are we going, guys?
Motherfucking scrolls on this motherfucking planet.
Love it.
Hey there.
Oh, that was driving me nuts.
How long have you been waiting to put that on your eye?
Ever since he shut
Is
us
that
off.
black duct tape?
It is.
I feel like I should
love
have
it.
also had a prop. I should have painted my face green. You should have told me. could have been,
I'm the
Taylor's.
prop guy. I am a prop guy.
Stepping it up. Hey, Lee. Thanks for having us on.
You're welcome, guys. It's been great to try and have you guys back on. It's been, well, actually, last time you were on, Devin, I think was about 50 episodes ago.
Wow. Come a long way, man. Heck yeah.
Oh, I don't know. This is all a facade. But I would, before we fully get into it, I'd like to thank both these guys who are both rocking Lights Camera Rant merch. That's fresh.
Boom, 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 boom. Louis got the long sleeve, the baseball tee, as they call it, and I got the short sleeve because it's like 80 fucking degrees right now. I'm sorry if
It's a
I'm not supposed to sweat.
3/4 sleeve.
Yeah, that's a baseball tee.
I don't play baseball. I'm a podcaster.
You don't have to play
This is gonna be fun.
Oh, you just wait.
All right, guys. Before we fully get into this, you guys all know what comes up first.
Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
So, guys, I gotta say, what have you guys been up to in so long? You guys, again, I know I always say this, you guys are one of the very top Marvel podcasts, right up there. There's no one who comes close to you guys, and you kill it every single time when you make a new episode. And your social media is...
Lee is way too kind and way too humble. But thank you. I will not let anyone not inflate our ego. So thank you. But I will say right now, shout out to Louis, who's been taking over the gram some more for us. That's pretty much spent a lot more time on our socials. And yeah, he's posting away and he's adding some cool stuff there. So thank you. But yeah. Your question was, what have we been up doing, right?
Yeah. Like, how's the band?
I cut off Louis.
How's the band, Devin?
I'm sorry. I think my internet is lagging. That's why. Or I'm just pulling a Kanye all day. So deal with it. Man, the band, it's been going well, man. We just played a show for the first time in like 2 months because, sometimes when you play shows, tour managers want you to do something called a retainer, which means you can't play a show for X amount of days before and or after, so they can really make sure the ticket sales are up and booming. So we basically took a 2-month break because of it. So it was great.
Wow.
But we don't play another show until like what is it? Freaking September, I think. Hasn't been announced, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't sign an NDA. But no, it's going well though. I got a wireless, so now I can go wherever I want. So last show I played in the crowd and it was great. And yeah.
That would have been awesome. That would have been...
Oh, it's good. It's so much fun. I started the circle pit, and then I had to like try and run out, and then I almost like knocked some girls over who were right by the stairs to the stage, and I felt bad. And then I got back on stage, and it's great. But yeah,
shit, that's awesome, man. I'm glad that's all.
Man. Oh, and it was actually with so the headliner, they're called Boys of Fall, and the lead singer is a huge nerd. His name is Mike Martinson. And he was actually on our show for our Multiverse of Madness review, I believe, / No Way Home review, back like a year and a half ago. and he's also a big like art nerd and everything too. So he's like he's making his own Kraven the Hunt story kind of Spider-Man comic, just a fan-made comic with his friends, and it's pretty badass. He's showing me the art he's been doing, and it's A+. So there you go.
Holy
There's a Marvel connection with the band.
Right around.
I had to find it. Yeah.
Oh no, that's good. That would be sick to have a look at it. Which, unfortunately, being a Kraven Hunter, I don't think any Kraven Hunter fan is really happy right now.
Well, I guess it depends if you really want the movie or not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exactly right. How much do you want a Sony Kraven Hunter movie? How about you, Louis? That's right.
I was going to go to that concert, but I had gone for a walk and I got very sunburned. So instead I was saving New York City right over there on the couch, playing the first Spider-Man game to get ready for the next Spider-Man game. Mm-hmm. So I was not a part of the mosh pit or the circle pit or any sort of pit. Other than that, I'm not doing anything. I'm like, part of being a dad is you're just in a never-ending rut of going to work, and then you come home and you play with the kids, and then they go to bed, and then you go to bed, and then you go to work, and then you play with the kids, and then they go to bed, and then you go to bed. And every Wednesday you're like, well, I guess I have to watch Secret Invasion. And then they go, I guess. And then you watch it and you're like, wow, glad I did that. And then, yeah, so on and so forth.
That was a good 45 minutes of my time.
Yeah. So glad we watched that.
Woo! I was also saying, Devin, I was saying to Louis before you came on, I loved your Skrull comic book cover. Like, that is so good.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, dude, it's one of those things where on my list of things I have not done yet, like release episodes, is actually throw that up on our merch store. We want to put that on a shirt and stuff, and trying to see if we can make it as like a poster version too. So we'll eventually have it available. If y'all at least like Skrull art, go check it out. The artist, shout out to him, Jacob Crump Art. He is on Instagram at that handle, and you can also find his Etsy store, which I think he has a ton of his own original prints of like Marvel and DC and everything on his Etsy store that he's selling for like half off. So go check it out.
Ooh. Oh, I might check that out actually. Yeah. Because for everyone listening in, you need to go jump on the Earth894's Instagram page. This comic book of the Skrull just looks so good and so neat.
It's one of my favorites, man. Thank you. And yeah, I mean, at least I love the Skrulls. I still love them even after this show. So there you go.
Sure.
And don't judge a book by its cover, right? Isn't that kind of ironic? They were Skrulls.
That's true. Which I think the Skrulls is probably the perfect analogy for that.
This is how Louis and I have been saying, I don't know, just things when we record. Forehead to the mic, just like the Skrulls do their foreheads. That's how we. Yep, there you go. Oh, that's a thing.
True.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's cute.
Fortunately.
But before we get into that review, into the review of the very decisive final to the Disney Plus show, which I think Rotten Tomatoes has really taken a good beating to it. We unfortunately got the announcement that everything is delayed. Well, Kraven the Hunter's delayed, Venom's delayed, Ghostbusters delayed, and now, which I feel like was already very well predicted, that Spider-Verse currently has no release date for Beyond the Spider-Verse. So Madam Web has been pushed back to Feb next year. Kraven has been pushed back to August. Venom has been pushed back to July, and Ghostbusters has been pushed back to March.
Madam Feb.
Yeah, I think the most gut-wrenching about Spider-Man.
I mean, it's like, what was it? Originally, it was supposed to come out in May 2024, right? Or April 2024? That's what they originally
March.
had.
I thought it was end of March.
Was it March? I know it was
Actually, yeah, it
like
could've
less
been
than
March.
10 or 12 months. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't see it. Oh, man. Oh, man. You know what? I think early 2025 is probably your best bet. I'd say probably February. I think the original one came out in like Christmas time or November,
Yeah, it did.
2018. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not that far off and you can still hit it. And honestly, probably like, I think Man of Web is in February. And usually February isn't like huge for big blockbuster movies. So I guarantee you if that ended up being where it comes out early 2025, it'll probably make a shit ton of money at the box office just because not much to compete with. But also, I think one of the things I personally want to stop people are like, I want to detach myself from is worrying about a movie's box office because who cares? I mean, we're not making the money back. We're the one giving the money. So it's cool if it performs well, but like, not our problem. As long as the movie's good, that's all that matters. Personally.
Yeah. Exactly right. I just, it was interesting because as soon as they finished that, I did think it was like, oh, this is coming out in March. I'm like, wow, this took so long, yet you're going to be able to pump out the third one so quickly around the corner, which we saw that apparently a lot of animators had quit or left the job because of working
they need to
conditions.
pay them better.
I was just under the assumption that they had the whole thing done, and then it was just a very, very long movie, and they cut it in half or whatever. And apparently, I was just not even close to being right on that. End,
that's accurate. That is accurate. I mean, I don't know if it was entirely done, but they had so much. They're like, yeah, let's just split this in two. And I think that's how it ended up being the edit. So I think they just had a big head start on part 3. But, just with everything going on with these strikes and delays, and I mean, it is unfortunately a perfect storm for what's happening with Beyond the Spider-Verse. But who knows? Maybe it'll end up being a better story because of it.
You can only hope. Which do you think the story is going to be better with Kraven the Hunter?
I want to see Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go see it. Yeah.
I didn't see the trailer.
Is it gonna be good?
I don't watch trailers.
Yeah. Don't watch that trailer because it's literally the entire movie. It's like a 3.5 minute trailer too. It's way too freaking long. I don't know.
I want to see Kraven the Hunter. I liked both the Venom movies. I didn't despise the Morbius movie. I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. I
think this will be better than Morbius at least.
I'm not a critic. I don't go to the movies and just shit on them the whole time unless it's the Eternals because that was terrible. But like most of the time I'm like, that was pretty enjoyable. That's me anyway.
Oh, well, I do think that Kraven will be better than Morbius. Because Aaron Taylor Johnston, I'm sure he'll do a better job.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And at least hopefully the action will be better. And it's rated R. So at least you're going out for it. But it's the same thing. It's like, what is Sony's ultimate like end game here? Clearly their animation seems to know what they're doing with Spider-Man, but live action, I mean, Venom is just makes money, even though the movie is kind of lackluster. But like that Meta Web, Venom, they have some other random movies like did they officially cancel the Bad Bunny Spider-Man villain that no one gives a shit about? Good.
I think
there's also that other one. There's the other one with like Donald Glover, who's gonna play like a like not even a D-list villain, who had like I think he only showed up in like legit like 2 pages of a comic. That's like something to do with like I don't know, some type of like 70s disco kind of thing. He was apparently gonna make a live action movie about that. I don't know. Hopefully not. But it's like, what is their goal here? You're taking all of like the rogues gallery of one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. Where's the through line in the web, right? What connects them all in the very center? Yeah. It's a guy with the red and blue tights and spandex. Like
a couple of us guys need to team up. That's their goal.
Yeah.
We're gonna break Spider-Man stinky pinky.
Yeah, you pretty little stinky pinky.
When's that spin off, right?
I mean, Morbius was bad, but I liked both of the Venom movies. We just talked about this the other day, and nobody knows about it. But I watched Let There Be Carnage for the second time the other day, and I still really like that movie. I do.
You're really brave.
No,
I haven't
it's a
gone back
good
and
one.
watched that.
I love that movie. I remember when it came out,
watched
and
it
I
over
was like,
4 days for
what do
sure.
you give it? And I said, I give it a 9. And he's like, are you out of your mind? And I watched it again, and it's not a 9, but it's still really good.
Like, didn't you think it was a bit choppy and
It could have been
very
better,
short?
but
Yeah.
everything can be better. You know,
They
nothing.
should just made
Alright.
rated R.
Perfect.
Yes.
Like, you want
Just
carnage?
pull the trigger.
Bring out the carnage. You can't have carnage without the R. This is just carnage.
Yeah.
Carnage. Canage.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us today.
All right, what's the
Here's
record
your-
on that one?
Here's your lesson. Yeah, well, I don't think there's actually any plot details I've seen about Venom 3. However, I just saw that they did do a leaked set photo of him wearing the same gear from the end of No Way Home. So it looks like we're taking off straight from there.
That is the
That makes-
worst
makes
thing
sense.
Marvel has done to me. Oh my god, the No Way Home after credit scene where Venom's just
balls?
like, we missed the whole thing. And I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I was
Yeah.
wearing a Venom shirt when we went and saw No Way Home. I was like, he's coming. It's
Yeah.
it's happening. Because at the end of Let There Be Carnage, you've only seen it once, maybe you don't remember, but he licks the screen. He's like,
Yeah.
Tom Holland. Bleh. And I was like, we're doing it. We're doing it. And then we just didn't. And it just didn't happen. And I was the dumbest boy in the theater. I was so jacked. And then they were like, ha, don't you look stupid? And yes, I did.
you even
I did look stupid.
Could you even imagine, like, having seen No Way Home? How would Venom even fit into that movie? It would feel
It could-
so out of place.
They would have figured it out. It would have been fine.
Would they? But would they? But would they? Have they given us good evidence that they would have? Would they? I don't know. I'm just
I
saying.
don't,
Too many cooks from two different studios. Don't really mesh well. They aren't going well.
especially
Anywho.
Sony. I
This is the rant podcast. I got a rant, man.
exactly right. Exactly right. I didn't know where Venom would have fit in No Way Home, and in having enough time to actually have the time with him that didn't feel short. It would have made sense of him joining the rest of the
If you
villains for 5 minutes.
can't fit them in, don't put the damn thing at the end of the other movie. And just don't
That's fair.
don't put them in
That is
there.
true.
You couldn't fit fucking Nova into the Spider-Man movie. Guess what? He wasn't mentioned. He wasn't in there. I thought of Nova because there's a Funko Pop sitting right here. But fucking here's Venom, and I'm like, okay. And obviously, I was gonna go see the movie anyways, so it's not like, well, got you into the theater. No, I was gonna. Nobody watched Let There Be Carnage and went, that's what's gonna sell me on this movie. No person, dead or alive, said that. So if you weren't gonna do anything with him, just don't do anything with him. Can I get an
I think-
amen?
Amen. I think
Thank
the
you.
only reason they brought Venom in was just so they could introduce the symbiote for down the road Secret Wars. Once again, another question left unanswered for many years. But I will say, so
Yep.
San Diego Comic-Con just came up recently, and they actually had the Spider-Man 2 Insomniac panel, and they were talking about, like, Venom, of course, because that's one of the biggest villains in the game aside from Kraven. And they said, like, they wanted this character, like, this is a big undertaking. Venom is huge. He's a big deal. And they felt like it's right to have him in Spider-Man 2 because it's going to take two Spider-Man to actually take on this, symbiotic villain and everything. So I think it's the same thing. It's like Venom can be a monstrous, like, threat. And just putting him in, like they'd be like, hold up, what the hell is that? Like, only Toby would know. But
Yeah,
still, like,
Toby's
trying to
already
fight
fought
that,
the
like,
guy.
that could be a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. I feel like it just, like, it wouldn't do a true, like, Spider-Man versus Venom, like, second iteration of that kind of battle and story justice if he just got shoved in just so they wanted to get 6 villains. You kind of got him, but, the 6th one just was too drunk to make it away, which I felt was funny because it's Tom Hardy's Venom.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to Louis' point, just don't fucking do it.
Don't
Save yourself
tease.
the thing.
Not
Yeah.
happy.
Don't tease if you're not going to do the full thing, because, like, what the hell's the plot going to be of Venom 3? Like, wow, that was a wild ride going into another universe. I guess who am I going to verse now?
We're gonna get Toxin in Venom 3.
Was it? Is it?
Well, Carnage or Venom or somebody dripped some shit on Officer James Mulligan or something like that.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
Toxin in the comic books. So
Okay, yeah, that does show you how long since I've seen that movie.
yes, it does happen. Like when you're talking about symbiotes, it's like Venom is one by a large margin, and then Carnage is number 2, and then like way out there you got Toxin, and it's like, if this is what you're hanging your hat on, I don't know why they killed Carnage off so very easily. That's the thing. That's one of the gripes I had, was he ate he ate Carnage at the end.
Yeah.
Which you kind of have to do, but also like that's if you're not going to have Spider-Man, that's your main villain, my guy. If you tell me that Riot, if you knew who Riot was before watching Venom 1, you're lying. You're a liar. And maybe you're not, but nobody knows who Riot is. No casual, if you must, knows what Riot is, or who Toxin or Scream, or that exhausts my level of symbiotes. But I
Let's give us Null.
Null is the symbiote god, yeah, and he gives the sword he gives the sword to Gore the God Butcher, and everybody hated that movie,
and it's
too,
all connected,
except for me. I loved that movie. So,
well, I didn't hate Thor 4. I just thought it could have been better.
I mean, everything could be better, Lee.
Oh, what about Endgame?
Endgame could have been better. It could have been.
How? Where?
I mean, I'm sure there's places. I love Endgame. Don't get me wrong.
Given that we don't know where the fuck Rhodey got abducted by the Skrulls, and the director saying, I don't know, but I think he's been gone since Civil War. What do the fans think? I'm sorry, Allie. Don't fucking tell us, as the person who's directing the fucking show, that you don't fucking know. What do the fans think when you fucking know something at least? And saying that, oh yeah, all that shit just retconned. So Rhodey might not even know that Tony's dead. He has no idea what the fuck happened, if that's the case. So you just took away one of the most, like, some of the best, like, Rhodey moments in Endgame and everything, gone. Because it was a scroll. But we don't know. And we won't fucking know until whenever they bring him back, and maybe Armor Wars in 2026.
Armor Wars.
These delays and shit. So yeah, who fucking knows? It's all made up and the points don't matter. Welcome to MCU right now.
You
but
say
you still come back every week.
You say the best Rhodey moments, but like, did he have any good moments before Civil War? Were you like, yeah, Rhodey?
Yeah,
Infinity War.
Yeah. Or
Sure.
Infinity War,
I know
when he's like, do we bow?
I'm here. Let's move on.
Yeah, but Infinity War was Skrull Rhodey. All the best Rhodey moments are Skrull Rhodey.
Scrody.
Scrody. Oh god. It's
yeah. So who knows, man? Who knows?
It's freaking true.
And that's what upsets me. Is just because they keep just adding more and more shit. We don't know what's going on because they don't know.
He's trying to move on.
That's a problem.
No. I was just gonna say.
Sorry, I was lagging. All right. Oh, look, an X.
Nah. I was just gonna say, for anyone who doesn't know, Twitter is now X. X is Twitter. Elon Musk. Just thought I'd just bring that up for anyone who, is really jumping on Threads at the moment, which I'm pretty sure Threads is dead now. Yeah.
Oh, did it die? Lame.
Well,
it just hasn't had enough reasons to like stay on it yet, other than just taking advantage of Twitter, going to the shitter.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone jumped on for that first week, but that's all I've heard about Threads, and like everyone who I do know is like, oh, I've just gone back to Twitter, which now is X for some stupid reason, because Elon Musk likes power.
Don't we all?
He loves his exes. He loves them so much.
Yeah.
He had to name a
Has to keep-
platform after him.
That's right. Well, actually, I did see the other day that apparently he also tried to change the name to PayPal to X.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And they're like, we're gonna X you out, buddy.
goodbye. I don't get
Must be
that at all.
must be great to be a billionaire with like self-esteem and pride and issues and
built like a 1956 fridge.
Same. Me, Elon Musk, and Wilson Fisk from Into the Spider-Verse.
Well, he's gonna keep I'm very curious to know what next he's gonna bring on with Twitter, because I know a lot of people aren't happy about the X. But hey, when you've got the money, do you guys like The Boys?
No.
I do.
No,
I love The Boys.
thank you.
Phrasing. Yes. Nah, it's a good show, man. It's so good.
Well, they've just announced and just dropped the release date for their upcoming spin-off TV show.
Now this is set in a TV like this is a college or high school, kind of like it's almost like Sky High, but with Gen V students, right?
That's right, Sky High with rated R.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Apparently it's meant to be the events of this is meant to be at the same time as season 4, which season 4 has no release date because it's been pushed back. But they just did drop a R-rated trailer, which just looks pretty good. September the 29th, it'll be dropping.
Oh wow. I have not watched a trailer.
Well, it kind of creeped up because I saw the announcement and I was like, okay. And then it's been like nearly about 2 months later and they just dropped the trailer out of nowhere.
Yeah, I have you watched Diabolical?
No, I still need to.
I tried. Like, I can't get into this.
Yeah, no
so
interest.
that's a The Boys spinoff. Hopefully this is better. I don't know. I love The Boys so very much. So to give you something that's piggybacking off of that, I would hope that it's going to be good, but you never know. I love the MCU so much, but ask me a good Disney Plus MCU show, and I'm going to run out of options pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's a short list. But are you guys what do you think is going to happen in season 4 of The Boys? Are you got any bold predictions?
I think
After how it's left?
Butcher's going to die in season 4.
Has to. Or Homelander.
No, Homelander's going to live forever. You can't do it without Homelander. I know Jeffrey Dean Morgan's going to be in it. I don't know who he plays, but he's never a bad villain. So I don't know.
No.
I'm Starlight's not in the 7. She's not even Starlight anymore. Now she's Annie. So that should be interesting. I'm here for all things The Boys, man. I love Butcher so very much. He's my favorite character by a long shot.
100%. And Soldier Boy's going to come back. There is no way you have Jason Ackles at the end go to sleep and not come back for season 4 somehow.
Bring him back just to do their own version of Thunderbolts.
Just to bang old ladies. Yeah. That's all he did in season 3.
Yeah, they're like fine wine. They only get bitter with age.
I feel like your point though, Butcher potentially dying. I don't know how long the actual main Boys comic book story run went or has gone. I don't know. So with that being said, could this be a 8-season show? Or could this be a 4 and one more? Who knows? But I feel like you're gonna get at least one main character death from the actual boy, or even just one of the main. If I had to guess, imagine Frenchie dies, or like the deep dies, someone like of a comic recurring character like that. But
Mm.
I mean, the stakes
I'd
got
be-
pretty high last season.
I would be
That-
okay if either of those people died.
Well, you
I
don't
I
like
love
the
Frenchie,
deep.
man.
I didn't care for Frenchie's his storyline last season. And to answer your question, Lee, absolutely not. I do not like the deep at all. Not even a smidge. Like he was the only thing that I could think of about the deep is
The
when
squid.
he when he flew the
That was such a bad
dolphin?
episode to watch.
when he was driving the dolphin and the dolphin flew out.
That's right.
Or when the squid, the whale, he got the whale up, and then Butcher just drove right through the whale with the boat. I was gonna say a plane with the boat. That was hilarious. And then yes, the squid on his junk, or when he's having the threesome, and he goes, "She thinks you're very beautiful," which is so incredibly
No,
creepy. Are you talking about the squid that he
I was in-
eats?
Yeah, dude, the eating one, that was so hard to watch. Oh man, that
Oh.
was hard. But yeah, I
You
say
know what,
give
Brian? No, he's not. The
fucking
deep is
cross
not
him
the
off the
best.
board.
Deep is the man. Deep. I
I like
Give me-
Noir. I'm sad Noir's gone.
He had an
So-
interesting
Which one was
story, yeah.
which one was Noir?
Black
He was the one who was
Noir.
basically
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, Black Noir. Yeah.
He was basically
was-
Snake
Batman.
Eyes from G.I. Joe.
He that backstory for him was season 3 was
It was
brutal.
awesome. It was incredible. He was like sitting there watching the
Cartoon
little
character.
characters. Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, I got very
I'm
twisted.
sad that Noir is gone, man.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. He's in Call of Duty
I didn't know that.
So is Nicki
I don't-
Minaj.
I don't play Call of Duty.
for some stupid reason.
Oh, I saw it's because it's like a weird connection. It's a very strange connection, but it's like the 40th anniversary of hip hop, I think, is
It's
coming up.
because
or
Nicki
something like that,
Minaj
30th or
is
40th.
is a boss ass bitch. That's why.
Yeah, I guess if you have a choice
I plead
between
with
her and Homelander, you're gonna pick her.
I'm gonna It depends on what
Ooh.
the
Well, Mortal
the,
Kombat, you got
Yes.
Homelander. Who are the other two? You got Peacemaker and Omni-Man, and they look fucking awesome. I'm
That's
terrible at
gonna-
Mortal Kombat, but I mean that game. I want to see how they. I mean, I want to see them just like the fatalities.
Yeah. That I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see what like their interactions are gonna be between Homelander and Omni-Man, like what that's gonna be like.
Who would win in a fight, Homelander or Omni Man?
I think Omni-Man.
I think
I'd
it's
say, yeah.
Omni
I
Man.
think Omni-Man.
No questions asked.
Because he's been
Yeah.
trained.
Like
And also, I think that just that off-world, like power balance. I don't know, boost, OP. I don't know.
I've done a lot of nerd research on YouTube and listening to other
Iron Man flew
nerds
in.
talking about it, and like if you put Omni Man and Superman and Homelander, who are all like kind of copies of each other in a fight, Homelander's not going to win anything because he's been so much more powerful than everybody all the time that he's just smoked everybody. Where like Superman and Omni Man have had battles and they're like have
Hmm.
had to be better, that they would just wipe the floor with Homelander, and it makes sense to me.
That's a good point.
Straight away. Which gets us to our next point is that season 2 is dropping in November, and we also got a special of Adam Eve, and apparently it's reported that they have done all the recording for season 3 as well, so there won't be as big as a gap this time.
Oh, nice, dude. Invincible was good. I cannot. I was so blown away by how much I enjoyed that first season. It was so good. Oh man, they knew how to
agree.
start the show.
I that blew up so much on TikTok, Instagram, like that was it the ending scene where he kills their Justice League. I remember it was everywhere.
The
And-
Guardians of the Globe.
Thank you. All
got it.
dead.
Damn.
Oh,
Give him
well,
the trivia questions on that, man.
They brought back
Oh, Abraham Lincoln.
the Immortal. Was that his name?
Yeah, the Immortal. Yeah.
They brought him back and then he died again. but still,
for just 2 seconds.
Mhm.
They must have not really, I don't know, not really anticipated it was going to be this popular. If the gap, because it's nearly been like 18 months since we got the last one. Oh, 6 seasons were written, only 4 were greenlit. I feel like we get all 6. 100%. If after that first season, if they keep that quality, we'll get all 6. But
Yeah.
what do you think is going to happen in season 2? What do you want to see in season 2?
I don't know. I it's been so long since I've watched season 1. I only watched it the one time when
Yeah.
it first came out. But like I just remember for me the one thing that always sticks is when Omni-Man grabs the back of Mark's head and then the train just comes right through and he's just holding him. That just sticks with me. And then Omni-Man, I watched a clip the other day and he's like, what are you doing? What are you going to have when they're all dead? And he's like, we're going to have you, Dad. And he's like, it just flies away. As a father, I know what that's like to just be like, what are you going to do? And they're like, but I love you. And I'm like, why am I angry and love you so? Yeah. And then you got to leave. So he's
You
gone.
just yeet the kid out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Omni-Man's gone, but you almost, I wouldn't even say almost. You certainly have to bring him back for season 2. I don't know what kind of deal he's going to be doing, man.
Well, he was in the trailer. He was in the trailer, but only briefly at the end, and still had a bit of a very enticing word to say. Says nothing for the entire trailer, and then the last scene is him going, "You should have never been born." Invincible season 2. I'm like,
damn.
oh.
It's like I should have pulled out.
Yeah. But unfortunately, the thing that I did hear that does suck is that it will be a split season.
Oh, really?
So we're meant to get 4 and then the rest next year.
That makes sense. That's what all these streaming platforms are doing, just so you don't use the one free week of Amazon Prime trial.
Oh, they know.
Because some shows are like we're getting Echo, unless some delay happens again. Echo is like a one and dump on Disney Plus in like November, and then I've been binging Twisted Metal, and the full season's out, and it's actually pretty good. Not gonna lie, man. I'm like 6.5 episodes in. Twisted Metal is actually really entertaining.
It's really good. I wasn't going to mention it because I was like, oh, because it just dropped. I didn't know how much someone had watched it yet, but I just finished it last night. It is good all the way.
It's funny. I think that's the strong suit. It's like the show is like I'm enjoying it because like I know the games. I played a little like a couple of the PlayStation 1s and all that. I don't know the lore and all that, but like they know it's an absurd concept and they're doing it live action. It has Anthony Mackie's the lead, but the whole thing is like they're definitely not taking themselves too seriously, and that's why I think the show is working for me because it's like, yeah, this is all insane, it's all ridiculous, like but it's funny, it's a good time, it's gory, but it's like Sweet Tooth is stealing it for me. I'm not gonna
lie. I love this character. I love how they portrayed him. I was really skeptical how this show was going to go. I'm like, because obviously the game doesn't have a major plot, but how are they going to turn this into a TV series? But I think it's from Zombieland and Deadpool is the one working on this.
That's pretty cool. I could see some similarities now that you say that, at least with some themes.
100%. It was much better than the Halo series. Twist Metal is the Halo show was shit.
Yeah, I watched the first episode and he took his helmet off. I was like, already? Really?
Oh, I know. Fuck.
Damn.
It's like, but I don't. What frustrates the most is like, oh, they're trying to justify. It's like, oh, we're going to show his character. He's going to take his helmet off. It's more emotional. I'm like, really? Excuse me, why I bring in the Mandalorian? Like, He doesn't take his helmet off except for once for 20 minutes, if that.
Yeah. Well, sounds like the showrunners just have no idea what the source material is.
No, but I think Sony has done, I think, big win for, besides all delays for PlayStation and Sony, between Twisted Metal and The Last of Us have both now hit out of the park, and we're about to get the Gran Turismo movie.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. That movie I thought was a joke, but then I actually found out that it is legit a true story. It sold me. Every time I see the trailer, I'm like, damn, I'm actually going to see this day one, aren't I? I'm down for it, man. It just sounds like so fascinating.
Yeah, it's legit.
As Lou would say, looks good.
Are you going to see the Gran Turismo movie, Louis?
Probably not. I do love David Harbour, but what Devin is referring to is every time we go to the theater opening night, we used to go. My best friend just moved away, so I don't do it as much. I'll do it to my wife every now and then, but during the trailers, once the trailer ends, my favorite thing is when the theater's really quiet. I'll just turn to my buddy and go, "Looks good," and then I turn back to the movie, and he's so embarrassed every time, and he's just like, "Would you please stop doing that?" Or I'll just, "That one doesn't look very good," and then I'll turn back to the screen. He's like, "Oh man, you are," like his skin starts crawling. Please don't. And I say it so loud. Oh, it's hilarious. So that's why Devin said looks good. But you did ask me about the Gran Turismo movie. I have never played a Gran Turismo game. I have never played Twisted Metal game. I've never played a Halo game. I'm not what you'd call a gamer. I do like the Spider-Man game. And I like games for like 7-year-olds. Spyro the Dragon, Ratchet and Clank.
Good choice.
Stuff like that. I played all the Lego Marvel, Lego Batman games. Stuff that like a complete moron can win at. That's what I like.
No.
So as far as Gran Turismo goes, if I were to see it, it would only be because my wife has a huge crush on Orlando Bloom, and I have a huge crush on David Harbour. And that's about where it ends.
Red Guardian and
Jim Hopper.
And I was about to say Orlando Bloom's character.
Oh.
From Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirate guy. I've never
Pirate
seen
guy.
Will Turner. Will
Yeah,
Turner.
that's it.
He's now the
That's
captain
it.
of Davy Jones. Or the Dutchman.
Perfect.
The Flying Dutchman.
No, I think you will still like it, Louis. Gran Turismo. There's no plot to Gran Turismo games at all. But this one, I'm right there with you, Devin. The fact that this is based on a true story of someone who's actually got obsessed with the games and then went on to be a real life race car driver. It's just going to be interesting how they're going to make this, if they want to make it into a series, or they're going to just do a one-off.
It would
I don't
have
know.
to be a one-off, right?
I mean,
I
for the
don't know.
budget, right? I don't know.
That's Sony money.
I told you my friend moved away, and he's really big into Gran Turismo, and he's got the racing wheel and the whole nine. I'm not getting too into it. I don't really actually know, but he I remember the first time I saw the trailer, and they were like, "These kids play the game all the time. Well, they're going to get a chance to actually race." And I looked at him, I was like, "That could have been you." And then it goes, "Based on a true story." I was like, "Oh my God, that could have been you." He's like, "Would you shut up? For the love of God." You know, we were trying to watch fucking Ant-Man or something the first time I saw the trailer.
Has there been a good racing TV show?
What's
No.
that cartoon from our childhood? Hey,
Speed Racer.
I'm gonna race you. Ha ha. We're gonna go to the
Yeah, right.
That one.
Aside from that, the only thing I think of is like the old school anime Initial D. That's pretty popular. I've never watched it, but I've heard phenomenal things about it. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, they can make Twisted Metal work. I mean, and it has a lot to do with the cars. I mean, give me a really cool like racing show. I guess I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't give a shit what anyone says. I love the prequels because I was 4 years old when I saw the Phantom Menace, first midnight movie ever. But give me just a fucking awesome grease monkey junkie pod racing show. I will watch the fuck out of that. I would love a pod racing show. All of like the slummy like underworld racing, and I don't know, just I'd watch the shit out of that. Give me pod racing.
Gritty pod racing. Also, Mr. Marvel wanted me to ask you about The Little Pony.
I have
he's
no
watching
idea why. I'm reading your comments, Brian. I'm
it.
not ignoring you. I'm looking. I'm like, is there an old joke that I'm forgetting? With like, I don't know. But you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, strap me on, My Little Pony, bro. Let's see some bronies at work. And I am probably gonna regret saying that, but I have no idea. I'm just entertaining the masses here. But you know, hell yeah. I know Mattel has like 20 different projects in the work right now, and I'm pretty sure. But My Little Pony's Mattel. I don't know. I saw the Barbie movie. Won't lie, it was actually pretty funny.
I'm seeing that tonight.
That's good, man.
Yeah. Apparently, I had someone message me going, "Oh, by the way, you won't look at graphic the same way again if you want to watch the Barbie movie."
Yeah, I forgot he's a Ken, and he's actually pretty good. But he's
gonna beat you off.
It's I don't know. It's this great Kenergy, but I think it just goes to show I don't know the actor's name, but he's actually very versatile. So
his name is
like, wow, he's good.
Jean Bond Air or something like that.
Ooh,
yeah.
Is that close?
Ooh, there you go.
Maybe. Well, he's gonna be Bob Marley in a Bob Marley biopic film next year.
Oh no shit! Wow, that's cool.
Louis, you're gonna be Ken for 2024.
Hell yeah!
I don't know, man. I can't compete with Ryan Gosling.
Yes, you can.
Simu Liu and John Cena. So, let alone Michael Cera.
Yeah, I feel like, or as I saw, the best thing, like Michael Cera looks like a guy who's just fallen into acting and he doesn't know how to get out.
Hey guys, how you doing? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he's acting the whole time.
Yes, you can. You can be.
No, I wasn't even close. His name is Kingsley Ben Adir.
Oh,
Ader?
Ader.
Something like that.
I think it's a deer.
I don't know. What do I know?
Right. Well, I look forward to seeing the Barbie movie tonight. Originally I wasn't going to see it, but all the reviews for it have been excellent. And I think
it's pretty good, dude.
IGN gave it like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I go to 4 out of 5. Follow me on Letterboxd. I will say one of my favorite things about this movie, because I mean, it pokes fun at men and their toxic masculinity a lot, and a lot of its stuff is very real talk. So I've been getting a kick out of the men who have very fragile egos, who are like, I don't know, like Ben Shapiro, who is like, this is the worst movie ever, blah, 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 blah. And he like burned a Barbie doll because that guy is a fucking dork. But it's just like, I'm like, yeah, guys, if you can't laugh at yourself and be like, yeah, that is true, that's funny. But also, it's like, yeah, it's very shitty. But, you know, let's actually, like, laugh at it and just not be like, oh, it's such a travesty, blah, 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 my fucking testosterone is off the charts because of you, fuck you. Like, all right, dude, you got pissed off at a Barbie movie?
Relax.
I don't know. Go get pegged somewhere else.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Unfiltered.
That's an offer. Unfiltered. Gravik gonna mess me up knowing he's a Super Skrull on Barbie. Unfortunately, I don't think he's as thick in Barbie as a Super Skrull. That's probably the only bad thing. But in saying Skrulls, let's get into this episode. What were your initial thoughts as soon as the episode finished?
Well, much like Devin posted, I'm big into the Multiverse of March Madness tournament here on the Earth 894 podcast. And seeing Gaia and Gravik have everyone's powers, it's going to be hard to not make them the number one seeds for villain and hero.
Mm-hmm.
I will have to probably knock them down just because of the cheese, if that makes sense. Like of course they have to be number one. You can't make Captain Marvel number one because you got the powers of Captain Marvel, you can't, so on and so forth.
And we officially have Kang now.
Yeah, but like Kang got his ass whooped by Ant-Man and a bunch of ants, and Gravik has like Ebony Maw powers where he's like,
and Ebony Maw's rings. I don't know if you caught that. He literally got to wear the fucking rings on his hand. So like,
so I guess they're not. That's part of his body.
I mean, also Skrulls. I mean, they transform. They wear clothes, but yeah, they made Amelia Clark wear literally the same fucking outfit the entire time. That weird gumball. Like, you ever have a jawbreaker and you just take it out of your mouth and it looks weird as shit, like a weird, gross planet with like all these different layers of colors? That's what her shirt looked like the entire show, and I could not stop fixating on it. I'm like, how many millions of dollars and you couldn't give this woman at least another fucking t-shirt to wear? I mean, wow. I don't know. It's just things with the Skrulls I don't understand, and this just made even more questions now. So I felt confused.
Well, Brian did say I turned it off when I saw that. He's turned it off.
Oh, wow. You didn't even finish? It got so much better after that.
Yeah, dude. Then they actually had the Howard the Duck like powers too. So like the guy had a beak, and then she was like quack 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 quack, and then she had like the little tail too, waddling and everything. So you missed the best part.
Howard the Duck has never said quack 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 quack.
Well, okay.
I'm sure he has. But like, that was a great scene when he popped up. He's finally getting his moment in the MCU. I can't wait for his Disney Plus show.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Just make it like Cheers, but it's Howard the Duck and he has a bar, and it's just the weirdest people come through. I don't know. Actually, it might not be that bad. Now that I think about it.
I was gonna say that's actually not bad.
Yeah, make it one episode where it's like it's just random characters come through like a rotating door or whatever, revolving door, and it's just
hard
where everybody knows your name in the MCU. Well, sorry, the Skrulls all have your powers. So how did you guys think about the talk between Nick Gaia and Gravik? Do you feel like that scene has no weight to it whatsoever because it's Gaia at the end? It's not actually Nick.
Basically.
And that's my point. Like when I was bitching about like Rhodey, I mean, if he's been a Skrull apparently since Civil War, I mean, it makes sense because you could easily swap out a guy who's unconscious. But like at the same time, like, okay, you took away a lot of that as a retcon. And also, this whole show, for whatever reason, Gravik's just like, I hate you, Fury. I fucking hate you. And he's like, it's personal. I'm going to finish this. I'm coming for you, Gravik. And of course, what does he do best? He just uses a Skrull again to fight his fight for him. So, like, really, it meant nothing. I mean, the whole time, like, I'm going to post a TikTok of it, but you know that trendy meme that's going around with just the black cat that's just like, and has like the weird cosmic synth music over it. It's like as if like someone's talking to you and you're just like, I want to be like, that's Gaia when Gravik is saying all his like evil villain monologue, and Gaia's like, anyways, it's me, Gaia.
Whatever. When I saw it, I was a bit like, oh, that would have been a lot better if Nick was actually there, or guy rocked up, pushed him out of the way, and then was in the machine. No, I guess he just wanted to stop the president, who's an idiot.
Did anyone honestly expect to be Fury this whole time when everyone just keeps talking about how he's using Skrulls and how they're doing all this dirty work and whatever, and how fucking toxic or terrible that radioactive site is for humans. Like, I don't know if you watch Chernobyl, but that will fuck you up. So, like, did honestly anyone expect that was actually Fury going
He
up
was
against
taking the iodine pills.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but he was
pills.
Yeah, but it's what was he gonna do? You saw Gravik become Captain Marvel. What was he gonna do?
Well, yeah, that's right. Now,
He was going to do Fury stuff, man.
yeah,
he called,
you know,
he called Priscilla just before he went in there. It wasn't even him talking to her. What a weird show. What a weird show this was.
Dude,
it didn't make any sense.
The last 10 minutes of the show should have been how the first episode ended, and that's the show. Because you just raise the stakes. And literally, like, you're showing the montage of, like, people want to be vigilantes, and all of a sudden, just like, you know what? I'm killing this politician. Turns out they're a Skrull. Kills this other one. Shoots that motherfucker in the head. Nope, she's a human. And that's the thing. Like, now that's like, who do you trust? And how do you control the fucking public? Now that was good. And what did I tell you, Louis? When we did like our first or second episode, we're talking about like, why does Tyler just say, oh, we'll just tell people we are here. There's a million of us. And what are people going to do? Because they're shitty human beings. Oh, these people, I have guns because I'm American or whatever. I have guns. I'm just going to shoot people for no fucking reason and saying it's my, duty and responsibility in whatever. And then, oh no, they're actually just a normal fucking person. You just killed someone for no fucking reason. Good job, dumbass. So, of course, humans are acting like humans. And if this is going to be my one thing. And like, I don't really like to say bad things, but this is going to piss me the fuck off. If all we get after all this aftermath that they just set up and left us high and dry, just edged us off and then bye, is that all we get is like a one-liner, like referencing, oh yeah, that's Skrull stuff's a mess. In like a movie or a show, or like people are literally killing each other. How are you going to fix this fucking mess? And don't just do it off camera, because this is a big deal. It's huge. And they left the show like that. Like, you're fucking stupid. And so I don't know where Feige is in all this. I know the guy's overworked. That guy must be like, I don't know. But it's like, there's a book that either came out or is coming out soon from this like well-respected reporter who did a lot of like inside reporting for Marvel stuff, and she like spilled the beans on how Kang was not going to be the original like big bad for the upcoming phases. They just said, oh wow, Jonathan Majors is so good, let's just make him and Kang the big thing. What? I mean, okay, but what? Look what's going on. And so you're risking a lot. So if Feige was the mastermind pulling the strings behind so much, and we know he's earned like his respect, he knows his shit. But where the hell is the oversight here? It makes no sense. Like, how the fuck could that have been approved by Feige? Other than him, maybe he just is so overworked. He's like, you know what? Whatever, fine, get it going, do it. Like, this does not make sense. This show would not have passed in phase 2 or phase 3 era. No way in hell. So I'm like, I'm just so at a loss. Like, I'm just flabbergasted. Like, what the fuck is going on? This show made nothing.
Well, I did see it was a theory or something like this was meant to be, people believe this was meant to be partially the plot for the Marvels, that they just, looks like they've just cut this out, slapped it into a TV show just to serve the Marvels.
But, I mean, let's look at the tone of the Marvels, right? You have Captain Marvel, you have, oh my God,
Miss Marvel.
I was going to say Monica Rambeau, but Miss Marvel too.
Photon.
Or Spectrum, or we don't even know what her name's going to be.
Goose. Her name's going to be Photon.
Is it Photon?
It's on all the Funko Pops.
That's cool. Can you look at the tone? This show was brutal. It had a lot of fucked up torture. It was bloody. Can you imagine Kamala Khan in any scene of this show? So try and imagine any of the themes of Secret Invasion and just copy pasta that into the Marvels. No fucking way. Even like Louis hasn't seen the trailers, but like if you watch the trailers, no way. Nothing.
No.
And like that's the same thing. Like, can you imagine take She-Hulk and then any of the characters from that show, anyone, maybe Daredevil could work, but can you imagine transplanting She-Hulk, Jen Walters, into Secret Invasion? 2 different tones. And sometimes
Daredevil
it's okay.
Definitely could have worked.
Daredevil could work, right? But he's not
like
Daredevil. He's not. But this wasn't his first time. We know how he came from 3 seasons from a Netflix show where motherfucker was slamming dude's head in the wall, and there's blood everywhere. But like that works for this tone. It can be similarity. It can tessellate. She-Hulk in this, no fucking way. So that's why it's like even applying this story and trying to put that in the Marvels, like it wouldn't work. And it's like also what is the place of it there? And also, Captain Marvel equally should be as much like getting as much shit from the Skrulls that Nick Fury is from Grok and everything. Fury. I get he used them, but Carol Danvers is the one who's literally searching the galaxy. What the fuck has she been up to for 20 years? Still no explanation.
Yeah. That's
So what's going on?
She's been helping out other aliens. God.
Boom.
Okay.
Earth is the main
But
one.
okay. What is helping? She could be that person who's like working, like who makes it seem like they're very busy at work, but in reality, they just like fuck off and they let us like hide and are really good at just like evading people and doing just the minimal amount of work and making it look like they're busy. Like, who knows? I don't know. Captain Marvel hasn't gotten my respect yet, other than her just like being the fuck out of Thanos' like war ship in Endgame. But we also knew she was literally like a Deus Ex Machina. So I don't know. It's just like the inconsistencies and not knowing how to use these characters properly. Is it becoming too much for them to handle? Like, is it just way too big of a jump and they're choking on their own bite? Like, I don't know.
Well, that is one of the major things. People obviously everyone's asking: is Marvel gone too big? Is there too many spinning plates now? Is it starting to shake? And the argument is, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was only good because of James Gunn, and that felt like old Marvel. And not to mention, one thing I thought of when this show ended, I was like, so obviously the plot going to Marvels is that all their powers are intertwined because of their powers. Does that mean that Gaia should also be intertwined right now because she has Captain Marvel's powers?
That's a great question, Lee. I'm so glad you asked that. Guess what? I don't think we'll ever get an answer on how any of this fucking science works. The only thing I will say, though, is because it's like, as soon as like Gravik and her started fighting, I'm like, how the fuck is this fight going to resolve? That's a whole thing I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, clearly someone's got to die. It's always the bad guy. But how is he going to die? Like, because he has extremists. And the only thing I can think of is that you have to be actively using whatever power that is from whatever DNA that's sourced from. So when Gaia fucking Kamehameha blasts like
I thought
through
the same thing.
chest. Yeah,
it's
just like,
wow, that was very Dragon Ball Z like.
Yeah, because she apparently knows how to use all his powers now. I guess maybe it's just he wasn't using the extremists at that time, and that's why he got. But also, like, I mean, he got shot in the face. How would you know to start using the extreme? Like, I don't know. So who knows? Maybe Gravik can just reboot at some point, and he's alive because I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Richard says Fury comes down from space, solves nothing, immediately leaves.
It was personal.
It was, yeah. I would say that's a pretty good explanation of the show.
Hey, but he got his wife back.
It's all done.
He did get his relationship back, though. So
that's true with Priscilla. Oh,
he's
sorry,
he's gonna flap some alien cheeks up his saber, you know.
You got to watch. You got to watch an elderly man make out with an alien. Let's go.
Yeah.
I was watching that and I was just like, this is I didn't sign up for this elderly man to be making out with this alien in front of me right now.
Hey, that's why we started watching Marvel, isn't it? We want to see them make up with aliens.
If I'm gonna watch an elderly man make out with anybody, I want it to be Captain America.
Who's on the moon? Maybe has Captain America been a Skrull the whole time?
No.
How would you know? They can make up anything, man. They can make up anything and retcon on it.
The Skrulls didn't get there until after Captain America was already in the ice.
But they could take him at any point. Okay, let's talk about this. When would Rhodey be a Skrull? And I was looking at this last night. I thought, well, no, he couldn't be a Skrull after Civil War because in Endgame he's crawling around with no use of his legs, so it has to be after Endgame.
No, I don't know. Well, see, I keep talking about how dumb I am. And I would watch the show and I'd
Maybe
go,
not.
what the fuck is going on in this show? I'm sorry if I keep swearing. What is
It's
going
fine.
on? What is going on in this show? And then I would go to Screen Crush or New Rock Stars or something like that on YouTube. And I would let Ryan Airy or the guy from New Rock Stars, whose name escapes me right now, explain it to me. And their explanation would be longer than the actual episode. And from what I can tell, like, they probably grabbed Rhodes grabbed him right after Civil War, like the director had said, because he was hurting or whatever. And when he wakes up from the pod or whatever, he like tries to take a step out and just his legs are gelatin. And it's like they probably took him at the hospital when he was right
Yes,
after he got
yes.
shot from the sky. And so when he wakes up, he doesn't remember being shot from the sky. And so his gelatin legs don't work. And that's why he tries to step out and it doesn't work. That's just a thought. I don't know. I would say that it would be nice to know that Rhodey's last moments with Tony are actually Rhodey. But if it was after Civil War, I feel like most of the time we have Rhodey was Skrull Rhodey, Scrody, if you will.
Scrody.
So, I mean, who's to say that unnamed Skrull lady? I don't know that she had a name. The one that was Rhodey didn't have a nice friendship relationship with Tony Stark just from pretending to be that person. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
No, you're right. But it's just I feel like them trying to make, oh no, we'll do this little Easter egg thing and make fans think again. I'm like, no, I feel like you've just pissed off everybody because you've just taken those moments away. Now we know now when we go back watch Endgame and Infinity War, like, oh, that's not really Rhodey. That's
That's my thing.
fake.
You're going back and you're retconning and you're not doing good. It's worse when you don't give an answer because you're letting us speculate. And what happens when we over speculate for too long? It just makes it worse. And that's how expectations can really like damper and kind of sour, but also can just really ran rampant. I mean, like, this is one thing I'd pose. Like, John Krasinski was always being fan casted for Mr. Fantastic, right? So what did Marvel listen and decide to do? Okay, here you go. Here's your fan casting. And also he's fucking pulled Swiss cheese or string cheese. Bye. So like you got that little one and done. However, that's resolved ish. Now, Scrody, I feel I'm gonna say this. I think Marvel only did it because we've been saying it for years. And when you think about the fucking proof and evidence that people have given, other than just the stupid ass recasting, is like, oh yeah, because it literally was a different person. Okay, shut up. How many times has that happened? Shut up. What else do you have? What honest proof do you have that Rhodey's been a Skrull? What do you have? There's nothing. There's really nothing. It's just running rampant, and it's a stupid thing. But also, I'm the guy who's on board with saying that, hey, fucking Wang the Conqueror over here. So what am I? I'm a hypocrite. But it's like the only thing. What are you gonna say?
I think it made sense to have Rhodey be a Skrull.
Why do you think
for this show? I think he was the perfect guy to make a Skrull.
But I feel like, do you feel like they made it for the show because that was always their intent, or did they just say, you know what, fans are saying it for years, how about we just make Rhodey a Skrull? Hey, we're having him pop up and everything. I mean, why can't one show up?
No, I think for this show, that's where they were gonna go. I don't want to keep rhyming like I'm Eminem up here. He was always in the military, close with the president, doing his thing. So if you needed someone to be a Skrull that was close to the president, at the beginning of the show, I always said it made sense to have it be Rhodey because he's a minor major character, to where like it's not like Tony Stark was a Skrull the whole time, and you're like, well, flip your computer, never watch another movie for the rest of your life.
Done.
But Rhodey, you're not as mad. You're like, okay.
No.
So
I am mad.
I think it made you're just one guy. I think it made perfect sense to have it be Rhodey. I don't know. That's just me.
If we got an answer, like how long he's been gone, like don't beat around the fucking bush. Just straight up say, hey, you've been gone since 20 something, or you've been gone since the event of this. Like, say that and just be like, you've been gone for a long time. Well, no shit. But like, the only thing I could see justified, if you want to try and if they really want to stick with this retcon narrative of saying he's potentially been gone since Civil War. So let's say that happened, right? Rhodey seemed very much like himself since Civil War up until this show, right? Like, think of like the conversations, the real talk he's had in the Falcon and Winter Soldier with Sam, especially when they're looking at the historical like Captain America exhibit. It was good. There was a lot of stuff in Endgame that was good. Now, Rhodey clearly is acting super sus, and he's like, "Hey, fire!" Like fucking like Daffy Duck, like it's duck season, bachelor, fire. Like clearly the president's like, dude, I know you're kind of in a weird spot right now, but can't you tell this guy's acting pretty fucked up? Who's like, do it. Start World War III. Fucking do it. Do it.
Yeah.
It's like
weird push.
So exactly. So my only thing they could say, maybe 2 different Skrulls were taking over Rhodey. One of them more experienced, knew their shit, and maybe they actually. Well, they probably were with Gravik if they were taking over, because why would they if they were a good person? So they took over for Rhodey, and then for whatever reason, that Skrull got kicked out, killed, something, I don't fucking know. And then this amateur who's still a fucking noob, who's very like eager to try and succeed and thinks they're hot shit, and that's how you get the female one. Yeah, you get this dork who's taking over for Rhodey, and maybe that's why it was such a dramatic shift of ever how long they've been taken over, and that explains more of the difference between like the acting of Rhodey from this show versus the other shows and vice versa. But I still think that's a shitty way to explain it. It's just like, personally, I've been predicting that I think he's only been gone he's only been kidnapped and impersonated for like at most a year. I think it's very recent, but also it's hard to tell when all this shit takes place. We're gonna get a book coming out in September that's official timeline, but I think it only goes up until like Black Widow or the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't think it even goes all the way past No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, nothing. So it's like, also it's still like getting more. It just doesn't explain anything. So I don't know. I'm really not on board with this Rhodey thing anymore.
Well, I think the Marvels trailer, I think that you could see the same. I forgot the statue's name. Ah, shit. The New York
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, thank you. It's still exactly the same from No Way Home.
That's so very Australian of you to forget the Statue of Liberty's thing.
That is true. You shouldn't have to do it, other than just like for pop culture. Definitely.
I'm pretty sure that's literally the only statue with a name.
I had Al. I'm like, it's not the statue of Louis. I'm like, if I couldn't think of it.
Hell yeah, it should be the statue of Louis. Earth 894's version is Louis.
That's how you can tell. But yeah, in the trailer, I'm pretty sure you can see the statue's still the same as No Way Home and Miss Marvel.
Gotcha. Interesting.
But you're right. Like, it's where's the time? The timeline's a bit skew with at the moment, because we already know it's 5 years in advance. So does that mean Rhodey is actually 5 years younger because he didn't get blip? The Skrull got blipped.
Well, maybe Rhodey got blipped too.
True.
Just add it to the list, man. We're gonna put a big ass parking lot like paper on the wall or whatever, and just write every fucking question we have that has yet to be unresolved. We have no idea.
We're all going to Marvel Studios. Answer our questions, damn it.
We need to know.
We're on strike.
Well, with this show ending, obviously this will lead into Miss Marvel, but it's also going to lead into Armor Wars. So do you think that maybe because of everything that's happened, that Rhodey goes down the road of, you know what? Tony was right. We do need a suit of armor around the world.
feel like that's what Saber's supposed to be, right? Maybe. Also, what
Yeah.
Sword's supposed to be? Like, hey, Sword's here. Okay, bye. Like,
Woo!
Saber's here. Okay, bye. Like,
Yeah.
so what? I mean, if you wanted a shield around the world, maybe you should have actually made Shield back or brought Shield back and cleaned out all the Hydra nonsense like they did in the show. But I mean, I don't fucking know, man. Is Armor Wars what they were saying is supposed to be directly tied to the end of Captain America 4?
Yes.
Was that because I remember there was a lot of like I was thinking that the president was going to get killed in some sort of assassination in this show. So that would open up the door for Ross, Thunderbolt Ross, to become president. Because
that was a
that's
major theory
confirmed that he's
too.
president.
I was
Yeah.
floored.
So
Ritson
maybe
didn't
this-
die. I was floored.
I think Ritson either is gonna get fucking killed because of his whole by people thinking he's a Skrull, or people are gonna be like, "You fucked up, bad man. You fucked up the world. Get the fuck out of here, excommunicado." And then that's gonna open up the world. Maybe Ross is the one who fixes this shit, and that's the one they're like, you know what? He's our hero. Bring him in. But he's also still got Thunderbolts on the down low. I don't know.
Well, the president did it like what we were saying before. Did like a full 160. He was like, "Oh my god, I know what's going on." Oh, hi Nick. Yeah, we're gonna kill all of them. Yeah, just kill all of them straight up.
It's fucked up, man. Just tried to kill your mic too. See, it's a Skrull.
Yeah. See.
Yeah,
kill him.
dude. It was honestly
Did he
that
walk
part. Me,
it-
I was like, oh, like he just said mass genocide. Like,
Yep.
that's like in American history, like the whole I guess like when everyone thought everyone's a communist, people were like paranoid as shit. Well, now people are just capping. It's basically the purge, and just hey, you know what? If you think they're a Skrull, watch this. I don't know, 50-50 chance, right? Just shoot him, just kill him. And if it's Skrull, hey, you are a patriot. You served the world greatly. But if they didn't, oh, that's awkward. But it was because you had good intent. Because you had good intent, we'll let you slide, right? We won't take your guns away. We won't do anything bad because you were trying to be. You thought you had it, man. You were so close, but no. And I'm sorry, you just killed those kids. Oh yeah. You know what? We're just gonna ignore that one too. Like it's fucked up.
Yeah.
They shot Shooter McGavin shot
Shoot him. I know.
live. That's like if someone came in right now and shot me live.
Not Shooter. That's the first thing. As soon as I saw him, I was like, "Oh, Shooter McGavin's a Skrull." Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
No wonder he's pissed. But yeah, well, obviously with Armor Wars, and then obviously what's the other one that's meant to apparently come out, meant to be tied in? I think Vision Quest.
Squirrel Girl.
Vision Quest is.
Or
meant to-
was it what about Ironheart? I feel like that would make sense with Armor Wars and Ironheart because of the suits. But also no idea.
I've totally forgot about Ironheart. I've just
exactly.
totally forgot about that.
Exactly. Yeah, the show that's supposed to apparently confirmed, like Mephisto confirmed, right?
Hmm.
I don't know.
What if season
Hey, they shot in
2?
Chicago though. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
weirdest
yeah.
thing is the fact that What If season 2 was supposed to come out earlier this year, and now we have no
Yeah.
idea when the heck it's coming out. That is the weirdest thing to me.
Hopefully it just doesn't.
At this point, it might.
You really didn't like it.
No, it's not that I didn't like it. It's that I really fucking hated it. I hated every second of having to watch it.
Yeah, it's in the first half.
It hurt me to watch. Like my daughter was Yes, my daughter was born, and I had to watch the last episode in the hospital because I'm a junkie for anything that says Marvel in front of it. And now here I am watching fucking Black Widow make Hawkeye useless with a fucking bow and arrow with a flash drive on it to kill Arnim Sola fucking Killmonger or whatever the fuck it was. Fuck that show.
Yeah,
I think it'd been cool if it was just random, just random stories. Like it was cool that they tried to put a through line, but I felt like they were doing random stories and a through line, and I don't think that meshed well. Just give us one or the other, and then maybe
don't
you
like
find
random
something else later
stories.
around.
Yeah.
I like the through line. That's when I actually started paying attention was when the stuff kind of started meshing together. Otherwise, you know what if review, here we go. Otherwise it just felt like it was the first it was like the first episode of a show over and over and over again, and it would kill me.
I mean, that's what anthology is.
None of these shows will be out for like years now with the strikes at this point. Yeah. But with the strikes, everything is currently in limbo.
We're going on strike.
You know what?
I still don't know what strike
you know what?
means,
I'm good.
but we're going on strike.
Well, just real quick, going back to What If Season 2 release date, I just Googled it, and the first comment goes, well, Season 2 was meant to debut early 2023. Obviously, that didn't happen, so I guess it's now in limbo.
Yep. What if it comes out, right? What if it came out?
Yeah.
You know, like, on the topic of the strikes, though, I personally really hope that the studios suffer greatly because, I mean, you have the WJ out, you have also the Actors Guild too. So it's like you have 2/3 of the main component of the industry. I mean, the Directors Guild, whatever, I guess they signed on or they're not striking, but like you have no actors and you have no writers, and you're literally, some of them are really legit trying to rely on AI. Fuck you, because it can't write you. It can't get you emotional, like intelligence. It can't get you deep, unique stories like that. And I hope these studios hurt really bad. Like, yeah, if we have to wait a little bit longer to get a better story and people to get better treatment, so the people actually doing the art and doing all this for our entertainment actually get compensated and treated fairly in better working conditions. Yeah, fuck you, Bob Iger. Like, his comments recently, oh my God, he's like, their demands are very unreasonable and they're unfair and unrealistic and they're being selfish. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Billionaire Bucks, who can't even give up 0.1% to make sure these fuckers have healthcare. Fuck you, you stupid crook ass mouth bitch. Oh my God, go fucking. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Now, when I saw those comments, I'm like, your PA must have just quit. They must have just quitting and just left you, because you could not have said the worst thing at the worst time at the moment to go, oh, their expectations are too much. I'm like,
yeah,
they're just trying to get their jobs,
dude.
And you're the one who's not paying enough. Don't you think it's funny how also Black Widow sued you for doing the split with Black Widow and streaming?
Yeah, man. Like, you know, people were like, oh, a bit like a millionaire just wants more money. It's like, no, think about it. How long did it take her to finally get what she deserved, her own movie? And then they get her, like, she got fucked over because of COVID. And then they're like, hey, you know what? We're also going to make sure that this goes into just the streaming too, so we can try that out. And they didn't tell her. And yeah, I'm glad she fucking sued, because I'd be pissed too. It's like, you finally get your chance. And like, the money's not a thing, but like, whatever. It's just fucking nuts. Scrollman. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. I like that. Scrollman. Thank you.
That shirt.
Man. Yeah, man, that's I'll get off my soapbox. I forgot this is a Christian podcast. So
Bob Iger is Bob Iger is my uncle. I'd appreciate if you'd stop yelling at him.
Hey, if Bob Iger was your uncle, let's be real.
He's not a good uncle. He's still my uncle, though.
He makes some bad choices.
We don't talk about him. He's a bad.
We take his money.
He doesn't give us any money because he wants us to earn it on our own.
Yeah, pull ourselves up with the bootstraps. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, Bob, I'll just make a streaming service and not pay any actors. Yeah, that's how you do it.
He prefers Mr. Iger.
I'm sorry, Mr. Iger. Because he also would make it was I do believe that because there's so much Star Wars and Marvel content, it's diluted the product. I'm like, Mandalorian's actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Talk about being a hypocrite. The guy who wanted so bad before he retired, his big fucking thing to cap it off was the launch of Disney Plus. How many things did he order? Like the studios, like Disney, fucking like Marvel, especially like, Kevin Feige, I want you to really make sure we get a lot of great content of shows and movies on there. Let's release more, because clearly the people buy it. As long as they put the Marvel logo on there, we're going to make millions and billions. So I want you to work extra hard and just make sure we get tons and tons of things on our streaming service, so we get those subscribers now, because we want to make sure our shareholders are happy, because number one is them. not the fans, not the ordinary man, not the people working for us. It's the shareholders. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Feige. And then what happens? Oh, you're getting all this shit, and look at the CGI because no one can work on it. Look at all this. You're doing it oversaturated. And it's like, yeah, I think it's oversaturated and overdiluted, and it's making the fans not enjoy it. Yeah, numbnuts are the fucking idiot who ordered that. You're like, take responsibility, you dumb fuck.
You don't know
But no,
if his
I mean-
nuts are numb.
I mean, they must be if he's got that many fucking money sitting on all the time. So much fucking paper cuts counting all the whatever.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over all the money I've just made without paying my actors.
Make $78,000 a day. $78,000 a day. And this guy is saying that, the strikers are the ones being unreasonable. Who deserves to have $78,000 a day?
We do, because we're the best podcasts out there.
It would be nice, right? But also it's like, I mean, exponentially, like, why does anyone need that much money? I don't know. This goes too much into the
convention. You could have the
I'm going too literal here. I'm taking us out of the fandom.
Devin, you just pissed off everybody in the comments.
Good.
You said who deserves that kind of money?
I do.
We're all in unison. I do. That's who.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have said, why should anyone make that much money a day? That's insane.
When they already have a shit ton of money already. Predictions. How long do you think this strike's going to go for?
2025. I mean,
One
2024.
more day.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, shit.
Yeah, I forgot what year we're in. I'm old. Yeah, I say 2024. I think at the earliest February. I think studios are really going to hold out. If the Directors Guild struck too, then we probably would have gotten a resolution way quicker. Because they didn't, that's why we're taking this as long as humanly fucking possible. Reality show is going to be. Yeah. I hope it ends soon, dude. But I mean, either way, like literally like every day, every week that these strikes keep going, that's months in equivalent of how many things are going to continue to get delayed. And that's going to add up to years. And I mean, like when they showed us at Comic-Con like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, whatever. I think it was last year with Phase 6, like Secret Wars coming out in what, 2026, 2025, 2026,
something
right?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee you, not even coming out close. No way it comes out until 2028 at the earliest, unless they cut half their slate and they bring it in, which makes the story probably even shittier. So 2028 is my guess when we even get that.
It's the hard thing is we've already got so many delays already, and Deadpool just a month ago, Deadpool 3, yep, it's coming out earlier. Next minute,
yeah,
strike.
Which is also wild. The fact like that movie, they're like, we're gonna move it up. What you said 6 months earlier? That was insane.
Yeah, I think it was meant to be June or July. It got pushed up to March.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot because I don't know. That movie's already supposed to be like it's a big cameo movie too. So I don't know. I have good faith in that movie, but who knows, man.
Yeah.
Without having like a peek behind the veil, it's hard to really tell what the heck's going on anymore.
Sadly, yes. However, how do you feel with everything we've just spoken about? How do you feel this is going to go?
Ooh.
It's going to be weird seeing Jonathan Majors in something again.
Yeah, just don't hit anybody.
That guy was on top of the world.
His court date should be coming up in the first week of August, right?
Yes. So
I don't know.
This this TV show is obviously going to be dropping in October, but I saw the other day that apparently there's been some more information that he's been disproven of his case, but there's been something else that's added to it. I
think the biggest thing is, like, let's say he's innocent, right? Let's say the charges ended up getting like dismissed, and it works out in his favor when this case takes place. And the biggest thing is, okay, now you're moved, Disney. What are you gonna do? Do you keep him or do you get rid of him? He was once again in this fictional or this this situation, he's proven innocent. If they fire him, that's going to raise even more of a can of worms. Just chunk it out. Because why did Ezra Miller, who did a ton of shit, was very much in a bad place, but they were still able to be in that movie?
Groomed. I think I heard he groomed, choked out a fan. Apparently, I think that fan was pregnant. Also attacked Hawaiians twice.
Isn't he banned from Hawaii now?
Yeah, I think so. And I think partially a
banned
cult leader too. Yet he's
bad
still got to
shit.
go to the premiere.
So so there you go. So that's why I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be bad. But I remember reading the plot leak for Loki season 2 months ago, and I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't good. That's why I'm hoping it's not legit, but it was from a credible leaker, so that's why I'm like, take it with a grain of salt. But I remember reading it; it was very much not what you would expect. It didn't sound as intense. It sounded like there was a different type of villain and some weird kind of antics going on. I don't know. Just word of the wise is take caution if you want to snoop around, but I mean, it's out there.
Spoilers.
Yeah, so just be careful. But if Loki season 2 can stick the landing, then I think that's going to help win back, or at least that's going to help retain some fans and their loyalty. If Loki season 2 shits the bed, they're in a lot of trouble. Because what is the number one show a lot of people say out of all the Disney Plus shows from Marvel? Loki. They always say Loki's number one. I'd say 60 to 75% of people say Loki is their favorite, next to Hawkeye and WandaVision. But this is at least.
Let us know your favorite in the comments.
That's true.
There you go. So that's why it's you need your heavy hitter to keep hitting those home runs, to keep the fans coming and booking the seats and selling popcorn. And if they don't, oh boy.
It is not what if. What if it's not? You just said you didn't watch it. These comments are killing me. They're killing me.
That's true.
Hell yeah, dude.
I speculate we'll see a Kang variant who's just a normal guy on Earth. Not knowledge he's a villain. Half the Avengers see him as a threat. The rest of see him as innocent, causing the next civil war. Partially. Travis. But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Devin. If Loki doesn't stick the landing, but what's the plot? What was the leak? What was the? If you remember it.
You know what? I'm gonna go. Fuck it, yellow. I'm gonna look it up, but I want to say it had a lot to do with they were trying to track something down. I'm not gonna say it. I want to read it for my own reminder, so I can at least give some context. But it just, all right. I'm kind of curious. What would you guys think, based off of what happened in Loki season 1? What do you think the second season would be about?
Louis, you go first.
Oh God, what do I think the second season's going to be about?
Okay, cool. Yeah, what would you think based off of what you saw?
Just from season 1?
Yeah.
So what would you expect to
the second season? I would just kind of expect Loki to try and find what do they call it, the actual timeline, because he's on a different. He's on a different timeline right now, and Mobius and Hunter, and she's gone. Hunter B815, something like that. They don't even know who he is, so apparently he's going to try and find his timeline. And okay, and I don't know. Apparently he does find Mobius, and then they go and see that Kang variant has a name, and I, for the life of me, can't remember what the name was.
Timely?
Yeah, Victor Timely or something like that.
Yeah.
So apparently he does find him. Hopefully it's not like a whole series or a whole season arc of him trying to find the other people. But I could tell you this: I don't think we're going to get any Thor in the Loki show. That's about.
We're just going to get more of a love story between one man and his female self, and a second love story between one man and one jet ski. Ooh.
One man and one jet ski sounds like a really bad web page.
I think that's a bit of a step up from a jar. Anyway,
Only millennials understand.
um,
I
I
I'm
agree
looking
with you,
at the
Louis.
original thing I saw. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say my thing would be him trying to find the other timeline with Morbius, and also gets really curious about trying to find Kang and Sylvia. Because the thing is, he goes to London, because I think there's some London set photos. He was in there wearing a suit.
There's also a bunch of McDonald's ones. Yeah, from what I'm reading here, I don't really know what I could say that would like
spoilers. It's a spoilers free zone.
It's more so I don't want to like curb expectations in case they're wrong. So that way I'm like I'm saying like, oh yeah, it's gonna be something totally different you wouldn't expect. You're like going into that with that bias, and then you go to watch it and you're like, what the fuck was that Devin Stone person talking about? What a scroll asshole.
This is scrolls. I had scrolls on my show. Scrollvin.
Yeah, dude. We're just scrolling around, dude. Troll scrolls.
Yeah.
Let's see. So basically, this is one from July. This is a little bit more interesting. Oh, it's actually very similar. Interesting. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff.
Just spill.
All right. If you don't want to, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to be that guy.
All right.
I'll tell you where to go. If you want to know, just type in Loki season 2 plot leak Reddit, and there's a post by Simples MTC in the Marvel Studio Spoilers subreddit. Go explore there, and you'll see it. Talking about Loki season 2.
So okay, how much far off from what you're reading are we to what we think will happen?
I say like 20%.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. You reading that, does that excite you or make you nervous?
It makes me nervous because I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to fall into the unfortunate trope of not sticking the landing. With the last episode really shit in the bed. I think based off of this is also a summary, right? So who knows what actually happens, and also who knows what has changed since then, right? So, but if this happens, I think it's just the second season's not going to end. It's not going to be as impactful because that last episode of Loki was incredible, and all it was a conversation. But damn, was it like my blood pressure up, my heart rate just like nervous and anxious. What was going to happen because you didn't know what was going to happen, and that was the best thing. He's like, now I don't know what's going to happen anymore. It's on you guys. Like that's fucking chilling. But yeah, this is a little bit more cookie cutter, to say the least.
Oh, well, I don't know where it would lead into because the thing is, Loki obviously that was going to lead into No Way Home and Doctor Strange, but I guess I don't know where Loki season 2 is meant to funnel to.
I think it's a good question too. It's like, where's Loki even supposed to? Like, is he going to just stay as a TV show guy forever and maybe pop up in sequel wars? Like, what is the end goal for Loki? That's kind of a thing to ponder.
Yeah. Or, well, is he going to finally properly cock it in Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty?
Yeah, will he ever die? Yeah. It's a good question.
Really
I think Marvel's a little nervous to actually kill off some of their still surviving original characters, like Thor with Hemsworth. Hiddleston is Loki. Hawkeye's still technically alive. Maybe hopefully just finally retired, but he's not dead.
No, he's just
dead.
Killed off Maria Hill.
Stan.
He's just deaf.
Sebastian Stan. Yeah, but that's my one thing for Secret Invasion, man. They did Hill dirty, and then they brought her back every fucking episode as a guest star just to be like, oh, yeah, remember her dying? Bam. Hey, remember her dying? Bam. Hey, remember? You want that wound she opened? Like, that's one of my things. It was shitty. Same with Talos. They died really shitty, unjustified deaths.
Talos was just a stab in the heart in the middle of the street. That's all he was, which is
He was also
sad
an
because I
idiot.
like Talos.
He's good, but his plan, he was like telling Gaia, like, you can tell he's proud. I'm glad in the writing, Guy's like, you're an idiot. Like, I'm gonna tell the president how to find these bad guys, and they're gonna, and like, as a thank you, I'm gonna say I want like a safe haven. Yeah, he's gonna be like, anyone who's green, fucking kill him. His plan was shit.
I thought you were going to do a Talos impression and try to be Australian in front of the Australian guy, and I was so hyped, and then you didn't, and I was so deflated.
Is he Australian?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he's Australian.
Yeah, when he's just normal, obviously when he wanted to use his Australian accent, and obviously three quarters. Sorry, when he's green, when he's a Skrull, he uses his Australian accent.
Right. Gotcha.
I think that's how
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But you're right. And like, I hope things will get better. This I think is lost. I think Secret Invasion had such high starts, but now it's just left a terrible taste in everybody's mouth. And unfortunately, feels the comments of those people who are like, Marvel's dead after Endgame. It's all over. Like, unfortunately, it feels them even more.
Yeah, they're not helping that argument, right? Yeah.
No. They haven't put out a bad movie. Oh, Eternals. But they haven't put out a bad movie since Endgame, since any time. Like, I've never been sitting there, except for Endgame or Eternals, and been like, wow, this is horseshit. I've enjoyed every single movie. It's the shows I'm just not digging, which is fine. I just, I don't think Marvel's dead. I thoroughly enjoyed Thor: Love and Thunder. I thoroughly enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I've gone back and watched them again. I liked Wakanda Forever. I still absolutely hate Shuri. I don't like her at all. But
why?
Have you seen her?
What's wrong with a female superhero?
Everything is wrong with a female superhero if it's Shuri.
Save clip.
That's fine.
Canceled. We had a good
no,
run, guys.
I don't like Shuri, but I still enjoy that movie. I like M'Baku. I like it. There's just something about these shows where there's always something left desired. And I've put it like this a few times where I've never been like finished an episode and been like, I need to know what's going to happen. One of my favorite shows is Stranger Things, and Stranger Things season 5 was 4 the most recent one.
Yeah.
4 was streaming at the same time as Miss Marvel. And we'd watch Miss Marvel and I'd go, well, great. That was time I could have spent watching Stranger Things. Like Stranger Things, I'd finish an episode and I'd be like, okay, it's 1 a.m. Can I watch another one and still get to work on time? I just
maybe
I like, I've never been that with a Marvel show. I've never been, okay, that happened. The only show I've ever gone back and rewatched all the way was Loki.
That's actually a good point. I haven't gone back and rewatched any of the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah,
I will advocate. Oh, I'm sorry, Lou. What were you gonna say?
You were gonna. I know what you're gonna say, but I'm going to say. You don't even remember what happened in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I bet you remember things that happened, but I bet you don't remember a lot of it.
A guy getting his head caved in by the Shield. U.S. agent Captain America obviously injecting himself.
Yeah, he was
Falcon's
awesome.
new suit, Falcon's speech, and the flag smashes that we will never hear.
Battlestar.
Yeah,
Battlestar
how can you
was
forget
awesome.
Battlestar, dude?
Battlestar. Yeah,
Battlestar.
Star.
Got dirty.
Who died quite quickly.
Yeah.
I was like, Killmonger and Wakanda Forever was a bigger twist than anything in Secret Invasion, the literal shape-shifting spy show.
Got a point. That was a good twist, man. That was good. Good cameo. Good use of a cameo.
Yes. How long was Ross a scroll?
That's another guy. Who cares? Probably
Yeah,
not.
but
that
that's a good
long.
question, though. Like, how fucking long? I don't think he was a scroll in Wakanda forever. I don't think so. But who knows? The director could be like, I think he's been a scroll this whole time. No, fuck you. Like, stop saying that. But speaking of green things, I was gonna say, I've rewatched several of the shows because it's been great. But She-Hulk, if you rewatch it as a binge, and it has to be, you have to binge the entire season in one sitting, it makes that show 10 times better. Because now that you know how it ends, like if you've already seen it, obviously you're rewatching it. A lot of the shit that doesn't make sense is like, that was stupid. It makes sense. Like, now that you know, like Titania and like Tech Bro and everything are like trying to do all this intelligentsia bullshit in the like from the beginning, you could see a lot of their stuff makes sense. Like that whole wedding episode, it was weird, right? But then you're like, oh, this is 100% stage. You never see the groom. You only hear his name. You never see the actual groom in that episode. And why does Titania show up? A lot of that shit was staged. And it makes sense because now you know they've been working behind the scenes the whole time to fuck She-Hulk up and really like play her up to be a villain and everything. And a lot of the stuff just makes sense. So like I enjoyed it better as a binge. And I feel like I've spent way too much time on that show. Like when we were covering it for the podcast and everything, that I don't know why, like She-Hulk has a warm spot for me. It's not the greatest, but like I actually just, I don't know. It's like I spent so much time investing in it that it's just kind of like, I don't know. I can become the She-Hulk fun fact trivia guy now, but you know,
The man.
it's weird, but try watching as a binge and see if it makes it better for you.
I didn't hate it. A lot of people hate. I didn't hate it. I liked it a lot more than Miss Marvel, and I liked it because it was different.
Yeah.
And the ending was such. No one predicted the ending to that.
You want to know what's funny about the ending, though? What does Jen criticize Kevin about the ending? So it was a rhetorical question.
What do you know? Nobody remembers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
If only somebody had just said that a few minutes ago.
Exactly. But this is also the weird through line that it's very meta, and I don't think they intended to it, but they're calling, you know that meme of like putting on the clown makeup yourself? That's what they kind of did in this final, in the two final episodes. So this is the through line. This is my horny hat of tinfoil, Loki, whatever. When she's talking to Kevin, she's criticizing him, saying, really? You're just going to have the guy inject himself with a special like super serum and then get all my powers, and that's how he becomes this big guy, and you're going to fight it out in a big CGI mess, and that's how the final episode is? What happened with the final episode of Secret Invasion? Oh, look, here's all this DNA that we're going to put into this machine, basically do some light injection into you for you to get this super crazy powers and then fight it out in a big CGI battle to just do some lazy writing.
Boom. Mic drop.
So, like, but that's my thing. We heard Kevin Feige even said he approved that ending with the little Kevin, like, fucking weird thing. He actually approved that. So, did he also see that, hey, the thing your show called yourself out about, also, you fucking did post that show. And one of the things that was supposed to be pretty fucking serious, you just said, hey, you know what? Use your Drax arm, then your Thor or your fucking Hulk arm, and then then this, and then Captain Marvel Kamehameha, and now you're fucking OP as shit.
Hey, don't forget about Mantis.
And Mantis. That was kind of cool. But also, she just like knows how to do it. None of this shit makes sense. It's all made up and the points don't matter. So it's like, that's why I was like, who is in the same room participating in all these writing, or at least the production, other than just getting your fucking name slapped on the credits and getting a paycheck? Like, what work is actually being done here to make this shit connect more and make sense, and not just be like, yeah, just do this. Oh, let's just do this. Let's just do this. And we'll figure it out in the end. Oh, let's fire the guy who was writing the story. Then we'll fire that guy and then bring in someone else to do it. And they have no idea, no connection to any of this shit. It's just all haphazardly thrown together. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's abuse. It's emotional abuse. We just keep signing up for it.
Show was already written with all AI.
Maybe it would have been better.
Maybe.
I actually do not believe that at all. But
no,
I don't believe it would have been better.
I fully agree with you. It's I didn't even think about that about She-Hulk, but they're right. It's still in a CGI fight, and how's that going to go for Loki? And why is Echo only getting a full series dump?
I heard some drama a lot with the production of Echo, so I think that was kind of one of the things. And maybe they just don't have confidence in it. But yeah, it is interesting because you have Loki, and then I don't even think the show is done yet when they drop Echo. I think it still has at least 1 or 2 episodes left of season, and then they're just dropping like that at the end of it or the middle of it. I forget, but it was very weird because sometimes they like that gap to let like the marketing kind of get some viewers.
I think Echo is after the Marvels. Echo is getting dropped after the Marvels.
So that's the Marvels. So yeah,
yeah,
it's not as big a deal. But still, like,
no,
that's a heavy saturation for the fall and the winter.
Well, look at the next 6 months. Look at the next 6 months. We're getting Ahsoka, Loki, obviously Twisted Metal at the moment right now. Barbie, Blue Beetle, Invincible. Everything else is coming out in the next 6 months to the end of the year. Aquaman 2, which is from Marvel horse shit.
Huh? Yeah, but what are we getting from Marvel in 2025 or 2024? So we have Deadpool, and what else?
What if?
What if we get it?
What if we actually do? If we actually get it?
But also, like, is Captain America was supposed to come out, but did that get pushed back? Same with Armor Wars. Did that get pushed back? What's the deal with Ironheart? Is that even coming out? Do we have a date? Like, my thing is, what are we actually getting next year? And with these strikes, it makes even more like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get 1 movie and 1 show. That'd be it.
Because of the strikes. Well, next year is meant to be May the 3rd, Deadpool 3, July, Captain America 4, Thunderbolts in December, and then Blade in Feb, which even Blade has had.
You're not getting Blade.
A terrible.
You're not getting Blade.
Nah.
And Thunderbolts, they were in production, and the production got shut down because of the strikes. So
yeah,
I would see that taking. I see that taking that February place for Blade, and Blade. I think it still is going to come out, but you're not going to get it in February. I think it's still going to be another 6 months post that. If.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, Deadpool 3 was scheduled to release on May the 3rd. It was previously scheduled for September the 6th that year, and then November the 8th. That's how much that's been moved around.
It makes no sense, y'all.
Nah, it doesn't. And right now, which I've been saying in the last few episodes, everything's in limbo. Yeah, any release date you see moving forward now, you're lucky. It's pretty much like a gaming release date is lucky. If
when they show the trailer and then 5 years later, you're like, oh, well, now I guess we'll show you gameplay.
Yeah. Cyberpunk. Or what was it, one of the Final Fantasy remakes? They dropped the trailer for it and then they turned around and was like,
remake. It took a while.
Yeah, and they're like, "Well, it's actually not ready at all. It's so far away."
It's also gonna be like 3 separate games that we're gonna make you pay full price for.
Yeah. Well, that's and then Suicide Squad. Here's a gameplay trailer that's meant to drop. It's meant to come out in about 2 months. Nah. Yeah.
Oh man. Well,
that's terrible.
Well, guys, that's why it's important to go back and watch your old stuff you still enjoy or play it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. Especially with Spider-Man, which how good does the Spider-Man PlayStation look?
I heard it got sold out instantly, like the face shells and everything. But I didn't realize you could also buy the shells. You don't have to buy a new console. So that's the cool thing about the PS5. It just snaps off and snap on. So at least you
but
can
the shells
like,
sold out right away too.
Oh yeah, instantly.
Ooh. That's right. It looks so good though.
It looks cool, man.
And then after this, we're meant to get the Wolverine game.
Yeah, I hope that delivers.
We're getting Wolverine.
Hell yeah. Hipster Wolverine.
Hipster Wolverine.
Hipsterine.
Yeah, we will finally get that Wolverine game because we got a teaser for it. I think last year it was like, oh, it's coming, and that's it.
Was it a year ago? Was it 2 years ago? They gave us that little like bar cinematic trailer, and I know they said there was a lot of Easter eggs in that little cinematic thing they did. I feel like that was 2 years ago, but maybe I'm wrong. I just remember we were stoked about it. Wolverine. That's awesome.
That is a shirt right there. And you're right, Travis. The Suicide Game should have come out like ages ago, and that's been delayed I think twice now, because we got the Gotham Knights game, which was outstanding and great. Yeah, we really wanted that. Who wants to be all of Batman's sidekicks and not be Batman?
Probably
I
Batman.
didn't play it, but it looked nice.
It was like a terrible port of Arkham.
It had a lot of bugs, right?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that sucks.
It was weird and it didn't really make a lot of sense. Damn. I'm like, Suicide Squad would have been better to drop that. But yeah, guys, any final thoughts on Secret Invasion? Shit, never gonna go back, or Harley don't recommend it for people to watch it?
I thoroughly enjoyed the standoff, the Ritson holding the gun. We didn't talk a lot about the episode, but Ritson was holding the gun against Fury, and then Fury's like, "No, it's him." And then he'd go, "Yeah," and then he'd be like, "No, it's him," and then he'd go, "Yeah," and then finally, Rhodey went to shoot him, and then, boom. Fury shot Rhodey, and then the blue blood hit the wall. He turned green again. That was pretty badass. Also, a long time ago, Brian, Mr. Marvel. I've never seen that movie. Mr. Marvel mentioned that Sonya was the MVP of Secret Invasion.
Just about to say that. What do you think of Sonya?
And she is by far the MVP of this show.
She was cool. She was a better Fury than Fury in the show.
Very intimidating.
Like being secretive and like being sly, and like Fury was always steps ahead, and like Sonya was just like showing up and doing that weird shit with a smile. She was scary, but
hello, Skrulls.
They're like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, this motherfucker is a Skrull. Bam. And she's like, see, okay, now that we're done here.
Told you.
It's like, shit, dude, she's cool. But yeah. I get more of her.
Well, even in the end, she's like, to Guy's like, oh, we're gonna be friends. She's like, no, I'm gonna use you, and you're gonna use me.
And the cycle of life continues. Gaia is now just stronger Talos and working for Lady Fury.
It comes full circle. It's like a circle.
Yeah. Well, that's what she said. It's the same thing, but you'll use me and I'll use you, and yada yada. Like, I don't know. Is that going to set up another team? How many teams are we going to fucking have? Sick of all these teams.
Exactly.
Well, what about all the bodies that she finds? All the giant cave, or like the underground area of all the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty wild, but no, we're gonna need 12 teams. I've learned. But the cave, the cavern, if you will, of all those bodies in the pods, it's pretty wild, man. I keep coming back to this in my head because they say that there's 1 million scrolls on Earth. And to me, that's not a lot. And the reason that I say that is because, and I believe it was 2016, someone in the comments there will correct me, but I believe it was 2016. If it wasn't 16, it was 18. The Chicago Cubs won the World Series. And then they had the parade downtown Chicago, just downtown Chicago. And there was like 4 million some odd people at that parade. And you're telling me there's only a quarter of that? Okay, so it was 2016. There was only a quarter of that of scroll. Like, that's not that many. I mean, 4 million people in downtown is a lot of people. I didn't go, but I'm sure it was not comfortable. But if you could fit 4 million people just in Chicago, I feel like 1 million people you could put anywhere, in any place. 1 million people, that's not a lot of people.
We have 1 million people who are shapeshifters who can be anyone.
Yeah,
That is a terrifying thought to think of.
That's crazy.
And that's why there's this mass hysteria of everyone just shooting everybody like it's a goddamn purge.
Also good.
But
movie.
the thing is, it's supposed to say is like, now we know who everyone is. But I thought, Louis, you were going to say it's like they showed that, like, you know, where all the bodies are. But how many scrolls? I guess maybe this doesn't make sense. Actually, now I say it out loud. I was going to say, like, how many of those scrolls haven't used those bodies? Like, how many scrolls are bodiless? But they would need. I don't know, because you can just walk past someone and like turn into them instantly. So my thing is like, how many people are being impersonated unknowingly, and they're not like in a pod, just like, I don't know. It's like if I just like transformed into Louis right now and I walked around, but if like you didn't see me, people don't know. Like my neighbors don't know who Louis is. They might just see that I'm their neighbor, and you know, you never know. So it's like they easily could have just been turned into someone else, and like, let's say Russia, go into like a totally different continent and stay somewhere else. No one has an idea who the fuck that person is, unless they're, you know, like a political figure or something big. But let's say they're just the average Joe. Oh, sorry, Siri. I said, fuck that person is. Sorry, Siri. But yeah, it's like, I feel like there's still going to be a lot of scrolls who can kind of slip under the radar because whatever. But I mean, I don't know, man.
There's so many more.
It just makes no sense. But it is a terrifying thing. Just like imagine 1 million shapeshifters out there and you never know.
I just don't know until you cut their finger off. Or was it Sony to also inject their ass with extremists?
Yeah. Was it extremists that she injected with?
Oh,
I thought it was just like something that hurt a lot.
Some of them boiled their blood.
Something that made them hot.
Yeah. Is it just hot in here?
Yeah.
I was watching the episode, and President Ritson, the fancy man from New Girl, got on, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm tired of all these fucking scrolls." As I said at the very beginning of this live stream, I'm tired of these motherfucking scrolls on this motherfucking planet. But he's like, "We know who you are. We know how to find you. We're gonna kill you." And I was like, how does he know? Like in the what do you call it? In the comic book, Reed Richards invents a thing to be like, hey, that's a scroll, that's a scroll.
Yeah.
But there was like, we know how to find you. No, you don't. There was never anything to show that you knew how to find them.
It's a body. That's why they showed it.
Was he just lying, or
no? It's the bodies.
Well, yeah.
That's all the bodies. Why they showed that. Because now you know who is a scroll. Of like, hey, you see, Devin is lying as a like unconsciously in that pod. Okay, if we find Devin out there in the real world, we're gonna kill that motherfucker because he's a scroll. That's his reasoning. Yeah,
that makes more sense. That I was not up to date on that. I was very confused.
But that's the point. They showed something like that so quickly right at the very end. So it's like you can easily just gloss over it.
Could the president be a scroll because of his 160 flip?
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, though. If the president's a scroll, why would he be like, kill all the scrolls? You know?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Gravik 2.3.
if you're, if I was a Skrull, I wouldn't be like, hey, kill all
Let's
the,
kill my
if the president was an ant, he wouldn't be like, step on all the anthills.
Yeah.
It's
Straight
just-
away.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's well, at least we got to see all the bodies, so we know who's who. But then again, is it ever going to come up again? Will another superhero be a Skrull? Like, will that ever come up again?
Nah, they never.
Uh,
They're the boldest they were gonna be was Rhodey and whoever else, and that was all we're gonna get. They're not gonna go any further.
Ritson's not going to make it out of Captain Samerica, is he?
Nah.
Well, I
nah,
assume he's
gonna be
probably gonna
killed.
either get elected out or he dies, and that's how Ross becomes president somehow, either elected or
Yeah.
like
And
he's
we
VP,
get Red
who
Hulk.
knows? Yeah.
But hey, Harrison Ford is the president in the MCU universe. Sold. Take my money.
How long? Let's just be real here. How long is his character supposed to stay in the MCU? Harrison Ford is like 80 years old.
So
I mean,
is
I mean,
Samuel
just-
L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson's like 70 something. I mean, a decade can make a difference, but still, like they're pushing very old age. Like making someone that old as the main character can be very risky. And so that's what makes me think, like, what is the longevity of just Thunderbolt Ross? Because if you're having someone who's recasted, and they're very, very old, is he going to be, we just wanted to have a really big actor take up the role just for this movie, and that's it. Like, that's what makes me kind of wonder.
I think Harrison Ford's got some good legs to keep going. Samuel L. Jackson is 74. Harrison Ford is 81.
There you go.
You beat me to it. I just did it too.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Like, how long are we meant to see Harrison Ford as the character? Because obviously, yeah, this comes out next year. He'll be 82. And if they, depending when he comes out next, it could be another 2 or 3 years because of strikes, because he'll be going up to 85.
Mm-hmm.
And then by Secret Invasion, is he going to be 90?
Yeah, will he even be in Red or Secret Wars? But also, who's to say? Maybe the plan is make him human, and then somehow he gets stuck in the Red Hulk form. All I need is his likeness, because who gives a shit? And then you just have him with some weird CGI, voice acted something else, make it sound more. And then bam, you keep the Red Hulk, but is this no longer?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Don't you want to see Harrison
Cop
Ford
out,
go
I
up to
guess.
Skrulls and go up to Skrulls and be like, get the hell off my planet?
If you need more Harrison Ford, you just bring him in, you scan his body or whatever, and then you just use AI technology. That's where we're headed, right?
And that's why we're striking.
That's why the strike is happening?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. I figured it out. And now you ruined it all.
Indiana Jones 6, baby.
I still have to watch the first one.
What?
And the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What? You've never seen Indiana Jones?
No.
Indiana Jones is awesome, dude.
I've also
I love
never
it, dude.
seen any Star Wars, so Harrison Ford and me we're not clicking.
But I can always understand if someone hasn't watched Star Wars because it's sci-fi and space. But Indiana Jones is an action adventure flick. This is something you watch with your kids when they're at the right age.
My kid is 3 and my other kid is 1.
Holy ma.
And we watch a lot of Moana. I've seen Moana.
So you'll be looking for the Moana live action movie? Because
No.
The Rock has nothing else to do now.
Because The Rock's going to come back to the WWE and dethrone Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41. Anyway,
41.
we're not talking about The Rock. We're talking about Moana. Yeah, my kids don't watch stuff that's not animated. If I turn on the live action Little Mermaid, they're going to say, turn this off. And not because
I think a lot of people did.
And not because the reason that everybody else says to turn it off, but live action Lion King, live action Aladdin, live action Mulan, live action Beauty and the Beast, live action Tangled, live action One Man, One Jar. Anything that I turn on, turn that shit off. It's not animated. So we watch Moana.
I don't want to see an animated version of that.
Of One Man, One Jar.
Why would you show that to your kids? That's what I'm wondering. Why is it in that list?
I need them to
That's
know
the
why
real
you wouldn't
question.
sit on a jar. What do you
All right.
mean?
No, one man, one jet ski.
Yeah. So that is
one-man show.
Yeah. I don't watch anything with my kids. And the time that I do have, I watch cooking shows like a fat man. I learned how to descale a fish. Do I eat fish? Absolutely not. Do I know how to cook one? Yeah. Yeah, I can cook a fish.
You enjoy the food porn.
Yeah, basically. I also like regular porn if we're on the topic.
He loves those men in their jars, man.
It's a lot of jars all at once.
Wow.
Anyway, back to the thing. Charlie off. What was my point?
You were yelling at me about
oh yeah, Indiana Jones. Like
Indiana Jones.
Son of a bitch! How haven't you watched it?
Yeah,
We should watch Louis.
I
Yeah,
prefer
love Indiana
Illinois.
Jones.
I prefer Illinois Johnson, but Indiana Jones works too.
Sounds like a good porn name. Illinois Johnson.
Why are we still? We just left that.
Sorry,
not yet.
I was lagging. Sorry.
But no, you need to watch Indiana Jones, man. Gonorrhea Michaels. Anyway, so yeah, any last? Obviously, you're both looking forward to Loki season 2, and I hope it's going to be better. I hope the Marvel's going to be better. Do you guys have any final words before we wrap up this episode?
Thanks for having us on, man, and thanks for bearing with us. We hope you didn't lose any subscribers. And
No,
if you're
I actually
being
gained one.
monetized, we apologize. Oh, there you go, bam, you gained one.
That was me.
Oh, yeah, it's still good.
Hey, one's on.
That
Still
was
one.
me.
If you guys aren't subscribed to this guy, why are you not? Subscribe on everything.
Why are you not? Why not are you?
Yeah.
That's a Harrison
Words are
Ford
hard.
movie.
Why you subscribe? No, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys on, and it's been too long, and I can't wait to have you guys on next. And I can't wait to see what you guys are going to be talking about with Loki, especially that Reddit, Devin, wherever I can find that. I'll try and have a look for that. So I'm curious about
I'll
that.
send you a link.
Yes, please. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure, guys, and I hope everyone's enjoyed our little good review of Secret Invasion, and then more of a hate onto it, like Rotten Tomatoes. But guys, until next time, as always, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Light, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until